Hey guys, and welcome to week 4 of our class here at Purdue Global University as we are continuing our discussion on gubernatorial and the administrative processes. Had a good week 3, guys. I've graded most of the papers this morning and graded the discussion boards as well too, so everybody seems to be on track and doing very well in the class. This week in week 4, we have another paper due, guys. We'll be discussing that this coming Sunday in the seminar between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so everybody make sure to attend the seminar this coming week. 2 discussion boards are going this week, guys. We are looking at, again, administrative agencies, and we're also looking at the rulemaking process. Remember, agencies have the authority given to them by the legislature through passing of large statutes and laws to create tons of rules and regulations. So we are really focusing on the rulemaking of state agencies this week and looking at what powers and authorities they have that are created by this rulemaking authority. So a lot of people don't understand that. In our overview of the week this week, it even says that most people are oblivious to the rulemaking processes and procedures and don't understand how agencies create so many rules and regulations. So we will look at that, guys. It's one of those things where the legislature creates a lot of statutes, and the statutes are very vague and very broad, and they don't know how to get to creating the nuts and bolts of how to accomplish the goals of the statute. So what they will do is they will then give the authority to the state agency over that particular issue and tell the state agency, you now have authority to implement rules and regulations to get us to our overall goal and how we are going to do these kind of things. So that gives a lot of powers, a big power shift there from the legislative to the executive branch, specifically to that agency, to allow them to create rules and regulations to implement new policies and programs, to enforce them, and to create a judicial oversight of them. So remember, agencies, like we said before, have their own internal judicial processes. So if you are in violation of rule or reg of the agency, you might have to go before an administrative law judge or a Title IX judge in front of that state agency, and then have to go through the appellate process of the agency before you can go into a regular court system. So that is something to consider here, guys, this week as we examine the rulemaking processes and procedures. We'll also look at the overall rulemaking process itself. As when a rule is proposed, what happens? It has to be published. There has to be public hearings on it. There has to be the ability of the public to make comment. Now, remember, guys, that's an important distinction there of making comment versus being a party to the case. I asked that question this morning on the discussion board, so that's something to think about here. Your right to make a comment in a public hearing regarding a proposed rule. What does that mean? And how is that different from being a party to the case? So a very interesting discussion on that, guys, as well, too, as we examine this process also this week. So we'll have to look at the difference between substantive rulemaking, which are rules to implement a policy or procedure, versus procedural rulemaking, which are rules and regulations that govern how a case or a hearing or a matter is going to proceed in front of that agency. So an extremely interesting week this week, guys. Remember, 2 discussion boards. We have another assignment, which we'll discuss in our seminar this coming Sunday. So everybody have a great week. If you need me, remember, guys, please email me or see me in office hours on Sundays and Tuesdays from 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time over in the instructor virtual office, or send me an email and I'll respond to it within 24 hours. And guys, have a great week.